Marya was the eldest daughter in a family of 6. Her father worked long hours as a construction worker. Her mother stitched clothes for neighbors to keep the household running. Her grandmother, old and fragile, spent most of her days resting on a cot near the window. And her 2 younger siblings depended on her more than they realized. They were not a wealthy family. Some days money ran out before the end of the month. Other days they had to choose between paying the electricity bill or buying medicine for grandmother. But in that little house, there was one person who silently carried more weight than anyone else. Marya. While other children went out to play, Marya stayed back to help her mother cut thread, fold clothes, and pack stitch blouses for delivery. While other teenagers laughed with friends, Marya rushed home after school to cook, clean the house, and check if Grandma had taken her medicines. She did it without complaining, without expecting anything, without even realizing that she was slowly giving up her childhood. Her parents loved her deeply, but they were drowning in their own responsibilities. And Marya's kindness made it easy to lean on her. Too easy. Can you watch your siblings? Can you take Grandma to the clinic? Can you skip your tuition today? We need help at home. Every request felt reasonable. Every sacrifice felt necessary. And Marya never said no. By the time she finished her studies and got a small job, she had already built a habit. She said yes to everyone, always. At home, her siblings relied on her to solve every problem. Her parents depended on her salary. Her grandmother clutched her hand and whispered blessings every night. Not knowing Marya spent half her evenings massaging her swollen legs after standing all day at work. At her workplace, things weren't any different. Co-workers would say, "Marya, can you finish this task too? You're good at this. Help me now." We know you won't say no. And she didn't. Not because she loved the extra work, but because she didn't want to disappoint anyone. But with every yes, her shoulders bent a little more. Her smile faded a little more. Her dreams shrank a little more. She wanted to learn music. She wanted to save money for a course. She wanted one weekend. Just one, to rest her mind. But each time she tried to choose herself, someone needed her. Someone made a request. Someone asked, "Marya, can you?" And her heart, trained from childhood, whispered the same word every time. Yes. One evening, after a long, exhausting day, Marya walked home holding a heavy bag of groceries. Her shoulders ached. Her eyes burned. Her head throbbed. The moment she stepped inside, someone said, "Marya, can you switch on the fan?" Then, "Marya, can you make tea?" Then, "Marya, tomorrow can you take Grandma to the hospital? We have work." Not one person asked if she was tired. Not one person noticed the tears hiding in her eyes. Not one person saw that she was breaking. She walked to the kitchen to prepare tea. Halfway through, her hands began to shake. Her chest tightened. Her breath quickened. And suddenly, for the first time in her life, Marya put the cup down and sat on the floor. She couldn't hold it in anymore. Tears poured out of her like years of pain escaping all at once. She covered her face and cried silently because she didn't want her family to feel guilty. Even in her breakdown, she was thinking about others. Her grandmother woke up to the sound of her sobbing. Slowly, with trembling steps, she walked to Marya and placed her hand on her head. "My child," she whispered, "how long have you been carrying all of us?" Marya couldn't speak. She cried harder. Her grandmother lifted her chin gently. "My sweet girl, who told you that you must be strong every day? Who told you that saying no makes you selfish? Marya looked at her through tears. Her grandmother continued, people lean on you because you never show your pain. But even a mountain cracks when the weight becomes too much. She wiped Marya's tears with her wrinkled fingers and said softly, if you keep giving until you disappear, whom will we have left to love? Say no, child, not because you don't care, but because you deserve to breathe. That night, Marya didn't sleep much, but for the first time, her heart felt seen, heard, understood. The next morning when her mother asked, Marya, can you take Grandma to the clinic alone? We have work. Marya took a slow breath and said softly, no, Mom, please come with me. I need support too. Her mother looked surprised. Her father paused. Her siblings stared. It was the first time they had ever heard Marya say no. At work, when a colleague tried to dump extra tasks on her, Marya smiled politely and said, I can't take this today. I have my own workload. Shock, confusion, surprise. But nothing bad happened. No one fought, no one hated her, no one abandoned her. The world didn't collapse, but something important did, the belief that she must say yes to be loved. Slowly, her family began seeing her differently. Her mother started helping more. Her siblings took responsibility. Even her father began sitting with her in the evenings, asking if she had eaten. Because the moment Marya valued herself, others learned to value her too. And Marya, she began living again. She took a weekend off, went to the beach alone, and watched the waves crash softly as if the ocean itself was saying, you can rest now. You have permission. She finally understood, not just for herself, but for all of us, that saying yes doesn't make you good, and saying no doesn't make you bad. Both must exist in balance, or your heart will collapse under the weight. A kind heart is a blessing, but without boundaries, it becomes a burden. So many of us grew up believing that love means sacrifice, that silence means strength, and that saying no means hurting people. But the truth is simple. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot heal others while breaking yourself. You cannot be responsible for everyone else's happiness while ignoring your own pain. Life becomes lighter the moment we understand. Saying no is not disrespect. Saying yes is not our obligation. Our worth is not measured by how much we endure, but by how much we value ourselves. The people who truly care will respect our boundaries. The people who only took advantage will fall away. And that is the biggest blessing, because it shows us who deserves a place in our life. Protect your heart. Choose yourself sometimes. Learn to say no with love, so you can say yes to a healthier, happier life. You deserve peace. You deserve rest. You deserve a life that doesn't hurt to live.